Hello, dear students. Welcome back for the basic civil engineering studies. Today we'll be discussing about masonry, doors and windows. Starting with masonry. It's a new word for you all, but let us understand it in the simple words what exactly it is. Masonry is generally a term which is used for the construction work which is done using the building blocks. In a previous lecture, we have studied what exactly are the building blocks, which materials are used. As all of you may know, that stones and bricks are used as building blocks material. As they usually it has high durability, but depends upon material used, quality of mortar, workmanship, pattern in which units are assembled. In load-bearing works, it can provide support to the entire partitioning, provide thermal and acoustic requirements, fireproof, fire resistance, and etc. Mortar acts as a cementing material. Masonry basically is construction using blocks. So if construction means sticking two blocks, if we need to stick any two material, we need some binding material. And in case of masonry, basically we use mortar. The mortars is nothing but a mixture of sand, cement with water. It basically consists of following three types. In case of brick masonry, which are cement mortar, lime mortar, combination of cement lime mortar, lime surkhi mortar, and the mud mortar. Now, depending upon the type of building block used, broadly there are two types of masonry work which are used. The first one is your brick masonry. When bricks are laid in mortar in proper systematic manner, they form a homogeneous mass which can withstand the forces against disintegration, against sudden impact. And this mass of structure made by the use of bricks as building blocks is called as brick masonry or brickwork. Bricks of uniform sizes, light in weight with proper properties, good strength, hard enough are used and to create a strong element of a building. Brick masonry can be used widely for all the construction of permanent structures and is more preferred nowadays compared to the olden days. Now, all of us know the brick has a standard size, a cube or rectangular shape with standard size in modular brick, which is of 19 by 9 by 9 centimeter. Then a question may arise that what are the different types of bonds created in your brick masonry. Now we'll be discussing about bond. Bond basically is the joint between two bricks. As you can see here in the diagram, S and H. S I've mentioned is a longer portion of the brick and it is called as a stretcher, whereas the smaller portion is called as header. So the first type of bond which we need to know is the English bond. The bond in which the headers and stretchers are laid in alternate course. Every time a teacher uses course word, it means layer in civil engineering. And here, as you can see in the diagram, the first layer consists of all the stretchers, the second consists of all the headers. Similarly, header, stretcher, and so on. But yes, the main rule of the masonry work is that there should be no vertical joints in single line. If you can see in the diagram, a red line has no red line below it. Why? Because if it goes in that way, of all the joints come in single line, a structure may fail. Hence, to break these joints, we need to place a queen closer after the first header. Now here the term comes again, a queen closer. Whenever I cut a brick laterally half from its header portion, it is called as queen closer. If I use my phone and if I cut it like this, half of my phone, this portion, half portion, if I cut my brick half from its width, from header portion half throughout its length, that portion is called as the header, queen closer. So the bond in which headers and stretchers are laid in alternate courses is called as the English bond. Whereas here comes the next type of bond, that is the Flemish bond. The bond in which there is alternate arrangement of header and stretcher in the same course. Here again this course means layer. If you can see, this is the first layer and we have first stretcher, then header, stretcher, header. Means what? It is different from English bond in what case? In English we have one full layer of stretcher, one full layer of header, but in case of Flemish bond I have alternate header and stretcher in the same course. But the rules again tells me to break the bonds or to break the joints in one line. Hence, whenever the course is starting, whenever the layer is starting with header, we need to provide queen closure after it so that the joints are diverted. Okay, so English bond and Flemish bond. English bond has alternate layers of stretchers and headers. Flemish bond has alternate header stretcher in the same bond. If we talk about the strength of the bond, the English bond have comparatively more strength compared to your Flemish bond. But look-wise or appearance-wise, Flemish bond gives me good or pleasant appearance. Now, these are the basic two types of bond: heading bond or header bond and the stretcher bond. A type of bond where bricks are arranged in such a way that we get all the headers in the front portion or the facing portion. That is called as the header bond. Whereas a type of bond where we get all the stretchers in the front portion are called as the stretcher bonds. Now let us talk about the stone masonry. As I'll repeat what masonry is. Masonry is nothing but the building work done using the building blocks such as stones or bricks. We have already discussed bricks. Now here are stones with you. Stones masonry, brick had a fixed shape, a standard shape, so we did not need to work on it. There was no need to work on it. But in case of stone, the basic difference in the types of stone masonry is regarding the dressing of stone. In my previous class, I've explained you what is dressing. To give stones proper shape and size as per our requirement is called as dressing. Depending upon this dressing only, we have two classification. The first one is known as rubble masonry. The other one is known as the ashlar masonry. Rubble masonry. The stone masonry in which either the undressed or roughly dressed stones are laid is called as a rubble masonry. Means what? The type of masonry in which dressing of stones is not done. The stones are used in the original form from which we have taken them. As if I've taken them from the quarry, I'll use them in their original shape and size. And if it is done so, it is called as rubble masonry. In this masonry, the joints of mortar are not of uniform thickness. They are of varying thickness. Why? Because stones are of different sizes. Hence, we go for different sizes joints for the masonry work. This is a diagram showing me the type of uncoarse random rubble masonry. Rubble masonry has two for the classification. The very first one is coarse, the next one uncoarse. Again the word came here, coarse. Coarse means layer. But as you can see in the diagram here, the stones are randomly placed. No layer, no line is being maintained. Such type of a rubble masonry is called as what? Uncoarse rubble masonry. Okay, so the random rubble masonry is in which all the stones are laid without forming courses. That means without forming layer. This is the cheapest type. It is the roughest type, but the mortar required here is more. Stones are generally laid along to their longer axis roughly to create the length of the wall. The next type of rubble masonry is coarse rubble masonry. Coarse, as you can see in the diagram, we are studying the type rubble masonry. Yes, the stones are of different shape and sizes, but they are arranged in such a manner that it seems to be a single course or single layer. Layers are being maintained. As if you can see, this is a larger size stone, but the smaller stones were kept in such a way that it seemed to be in a layer wise distribution. That masonry was known as what? Ashlar, sorry, Coarse double masonry. So coarse masonry is the masonry where the stones are layered in courses, whereas in case of uncoarse, they are not laid in the proper courses. The second type of stone masonry is your ashlar masonry. The stone masonry in which the stones are finely dressed are called as the ashlar masonry. Again, dress means what? A type of masonry in which I will modify the stone in my required shape, generally in cube or rectangular shape, and then arrange them similar to your brickwork. That type of masonry is known as what? Ashlar masonry. Now, depending upon the shape, depending upon the design which we give, depending upon the cuts which we give to the ashlar masonry, there are further classifications in the ashlar masonry also. This, as you can see in the figure, this is coarse ashlar masonry. Here, it is difficult to recognize whether it is a brick masonry or a stone, but yes, it is a stone masonry. Here, the stones are being dressed similar to your bricks. They just seem like a brick. So, this is called as what? Coarse ashlar masonry. Next, few ashlar classifications are chamfered ashlar. Chamfered is nothing but the edges are being created. Yeah, the edges or layers are being created at the edges or joints of your stones. Those are called as the chamfered ashlar masonry. Rough tool ashlar. In this type, the sides of stones are tooled and dressed with chisels. Manual dressing is being done. Those are called as what? Rough tool ashlar. The next ashlar type of rubble masonry is the ashlar facing, in which the front work, the front portion of the stones are properly keenly dressed compared to the backing portion. Hence, they are called as what? Ashlar facing rubble masonry. Now, let us compare the stone masonry with the brick masonry, considering their points of merits and demerits. The stone is stronger and more durable than the brick for public buildings. It is decidedly more suitable than brick because strength wise, durability wise, stone may provide more strength, more durability, hence they may be preferred in the public buildings. It also gives appearance wise good look, as stones are available in different colors and more serene, and they go more serene along with their age. On the other hand, if I talk about brick, brick is an artificial product made as a copy of stone. Okay, it may be customized, but appearance wise, stone may create a good appearance. Stone is waterproof. Yes, brick is a material made up of clay. So even if it is dry to its optimum limit, still it has a capacity to absorb water. But stone, in comparison to the brick, they are you can say water resistant or waterproof. Hence, they are water absorption factor wise, they are more proof or more better than the brick masonry. But now let us compare them on the basis of the ornamental work or the plastering required. Brick offers greater facility for smooth working. We not need skilled labor in case of brick masonry, but yes, I need skilled labor because every mason, every labor is not skilled to work on stone. Hence, brick masonry construction somewhere is more faster, more quick, more cheap in mode of construction. On account of the regular shape and uniform size of brick, a proper bond can be obtained with ease, but creating bonds in case of stone masonry is comparatively difficult. Also, the amount of mortar required. The amount of mortar required in case of stone masonry is far more than the amount of mortar required in case of brick masonry. Now, let us know or discuss about the next topic of our unit number 1, that is door. What are doors basically? Doors are that elements of building which are generally provided to give access or to restrict the access into certain area or certain rooms. As you can see, I've mentioned few of the functions of door. They admit ventilation. Yes, door also give us light and ventilation. They control the physical atmosphere. How? Because we can restrict the entry of restrict the entry of wind, air to come inside a room by the closure or opening of your doors. They act as a barrier to noise. Yes, if I get disturbed by the noise of, suppose, my besiding class, I may close the door. Okay. Also, they used to screen areas of building for aesthetic purpose. Yes, nowadays we have variety of doors available to increase the aesthetic. Aesthetic means what? The appearance of your building. The look of your building can be improvised by the different types of doors nowadays available in the market. Before going into the types of doors, we need to know what are the basic components of a door. So, components of a door basically consist of a door frame and a door shutter. Shutter is nothing what we in a general normal day-to-day language we call it as a shutter. Okay, so shutter means what? The leaf of a door, the wooden plank which moves, which we close, is called as shutter, and the part of which is fixed into the wall itself is called as the door frame. As you can see here in the diagram, I have drawn a diagram for the door frame. Okay, this vertical portion, these two are called as a vertical post of my frame. These are called as a vertical post, and these are no, this is the head of my frame. The part of the vertical post is embedded here. See, if you can see, this is the below the ground level. Okay, I'll use a pen over here, this one. Okay, this part is embedded in the ground. Why? To fix the frame in the ground, in my flooring. Okay, similarly, this portion, which I called it as, which is called as horn. The horns on both the ends of your head are embedded in the wall. If ever you have observed construction of building, first the frame is being fixed, then the wall is being constructed, so that we cannot change the location of your door frame or door, basically the position of door. This entire door frame is fixed with the help of rivet, jam pole. These are nothing but the connections, the plates and the boltings through which we attach our shutter, through which we fix the frame with the wall. Now, depending upon the shutter types, what shutter we provide. Maybe the shutter is of glass, it may be of wood, it may be of metal. The frame should be there. Now, a question may arise into your mind that how these two portions are connected with each other if it is not a single piece member. If it is not a single piece member, the head and the vertical post are connected with each other with the dove and groove arrangement. I repeat, D-O-V-V-E, sorry, D-O, dove, dovetail and groove arrangement. Groove means basically a hole. Dove is nothing but the extended portion. As you must have used pens. Pen cap is nothing, it has a hole into it. So we can insert a projected pen-like portion into the cap. Similarly, the vertical post, this one, this portion has a extended portion and there's a hole here into the head of the my door frame. The extended portion gets inserted and in this way the frame gets assembled. Now, coming towards the types of doors, there are different types of doors depending upon the material, depending upon the function. The types which we are going to discuss are here. Hinge doors. Hinge doors means what? Which have hinged or fixed with the bolts or and connections with your door frames. And in the hinge door itself, we have batten doors, panel doors, sash doors, flush door, and so on. Yeah. The very first and initial most type of door used was the batten and ledge door. Now the question may arise in your mind, what are the battens and what are the ledges? Okay, so the vertical, see this one, two, where I am placing the red dot. Okay, this vertical, it may be vertical, sorry, it may be made up of wood member or a metallic member. This vertical, you can say planks, which are connected to each other to form a frame. Okay, not a frame but a surface. These members are called as battens. Okay, and to support them at the back, we are providing three long horizontal members. This one. this one. Okay, these are called as what? Ledgers. So a door made up from the combination of battens and ledgers is called as batten and ledger door. What are battens? Battens are the vertical strips, ledgers are the horizontal strips which are provided to support the battens. Okay, and these battens are connected to the ledgers with the help of this hinges. Here, see, these are the hinges. Okay, this is my middle ledger. Here a handrail, locking arrangement is provided through which I can create a lock. This is my bottom ledger. Okay, so battens are the vertical members, ledgers are the horizontal, which are provided to support your ledgers. So now, but it may happen that this in between portion may get twisted, may get turned. So another improvisation was done in the same type of door, which is our next type, that is my battened ledge brace door. Now here a third member is being added, which is the brace, this one. Okay, the inclined members provided between the two ledgers to support the gap between the two ledgers to support the battens is called as brace, and a door in which we have battens, ledges and braces is called as the ledge, batten and brace door. Okay, here again more improvisation was done to the same type of door by providing a frame. Up till now what we have seen just this sheet now, battens and ledges, but to support this just as a photo frame, all of us have a photo frame. If you can see in my if you've observed, we provide a frame to protect the edges of a photo, no? So similarly, to protect the corners of my battens and ledges, I've created a frame. See this one. Okay, inside a frame I've fixed my battens and then ledges and then this brace assembly. Such type of a door is called as batten ledge braced framed door. Okay, batten ledge braced framed door. This is the same diagram. Okay, now next type of a door is known as what? Panel door. What are panels? As you can see here in the diagram, the door is a single door itself, but it has different portions. This one. Okay, different parts are being created in virtual wise or visual sense. We get different parts of the same shutter. Those are known as what? Panels. Before going into types of panels, let us know what are the components or elements of panel door. This again is a vertical post. This portion, this vertical area, if this one, it is called as stile. These are the horizontal ones. Area created is called as the rails. In between this, the vertical between the gap created or the portion created are called as what? Panel. This is one panel. This is the other panel. Okay, this is first panel. This is second. This is my third panel. Okay, so the distance between these two, the member between the two panels in the same rail is called as mullion or muntin. These are the muntins. Okay, so depending upon the type of depending upon number of panels, we have different number of panel doors. Single panel, double panel, three panel. See, this is the other time. Here also you can see two panels. This 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a 4-panel door. Okay, so panel door is a door in which we have different panels created with the help of stile. Stile is the vertical member. Panels is that portion created. Panels are created with the help of rails. Top rail, bottom rail, lock rail, and if it is a 8-panel door, we may have you can say a freeze rail also. This member is called as what? Muntin. Now, our next type of a door is a glazed or sash door. Glaze means wherever the word comes glaze, it means glass. Okay, so glazed door or glass door may be of two types, as you can see here, fully glazed door or the partly glazed door. Now this partly glazed door is partly paneled and partly glazed, means half panel and half glaze. The next type of a door which we commonly use, is already in your classroom, it may be in your house also. It is a flush door. It is simply a simplest door with a flat surface on both the sides. There are no panels, there are no rails, there are no mountains over here. If you can see, the first figure goes like this, the single panel door. Okay, there's no framing, there's no rail, a single piece door. But if we go in the inner of it, it may consist of different layers. If you have observed a plywood, thick sheet of plywood, if we look at its inner area, it has different layers into it. Okay, this inner all plywood thick layers are covered with, you can say, thick ply sheets, or you can say vinyl sheets, etc. Okay, they are covered with hard plywood, or with different varieties of designs nowadays to cover this thick, huge single piece member of wood. Okay, flush door may be of solid core or hollow core. Here you can see this is a solid core member. These are the hollow core flush door. Next is the lowered doors. Lower, yeah, these members are known as lowers or ventians. They are called as what? Ventians. If you have observed windows of your washrooms, it consists of smaller windows with inclined glass. Inclined. Okay. Here, if you can see this one, see. These inclined members are called as ventian or lowers, and the door in which these ventians are provided are known as what? Lowered or ventian door. Okay, now what is the use or advantage of this? These provide me privacy whenever I need. At the same time, they allow the light and air to come inside the room. Okay, it may be completely lowered door or it may be a partly lowered door. The one which we can see here is, these are two panels, so half panel and half lowered door. Now here, if you can observe minutely, these are two shutters. Okay, this is the first shutter, this is the second. Though it is a single door but with two shutters, hence such type of a door is called as double leaf door. We may have double leaf in all the types. Our next type of door is a collapsible door. All of us have seen this. We generally provide this in garages or for safety purposes. Okay, so it is entirely a metallic door made up of different braces. It may have wheels at the bottom or channels through which this rails can be pulled in and pulled out. As we can pull them all out to cover the surface and shut them to open the entry, hence it is called as what? Collapsible types of door. They are generally made up of double channels. Their channels are spaced approx 100 to 120 mm apart from each other. The inclined member here are also called as, yes, this one, inclined member. Wherever I use inclined metallic members, those are called as what? Braces. So this type of a door is called as my collapsible type of doors. The rollers are mounted at the bottom and the top, okay, through which the door can be moved. Next type of a door is your rolling shutter. All of us have seen this. Here this horizontal drum is being provided, which has a pulley chain like arrangement through which the doors can be pulled up and pulled down. Okay, here we have a ring like arrangement. When I pull it up, the ring gets rotated, the chain gets rotated, and the shutter gets open. And when I pull it down, the string start twirling and get separated so that I can close. Here at the bottom I have a handle, and these are the locking arrangements provided at the bottom of the door. So such type of a door is called as what? Rolling shutter. Generally used in shops, go downs, etc. Now, these are the sliding doors. In this we have what we can see here is, here these are the rollers through which the panel, the entire glass panel or the frame of my door moves around the moving channel. Our next or last topic of today's discussion is windows. Now, what are windows exactly? Windows are that element of your building which is generally provided to allow the entry of light and air inside your room. The diagram which is you can see here gives me the basic elements of your uh, elements or components of your window. This is a frame similar to your door here. Says your rail. These are millions or your mountains. This member or frame which holds the glass is called as what? Sash. This is jam. Jam means what? It is a frame. It supports me. This is the latch. Now, types of the very first type of window is fixed window. In this type of window, the frame is fixed. The glass panel is permanently fixed in the opening of wall. Opening means what? The front portion. The shutter can't be opened or can't be closed. The function is just limited to allow the light and to permit the vision in the room. Okay, so these windows are completely closed. We can't open them. Then what is the purpose? Just to give me the view from outside itself without giving me the entry. In hospitals and all, we may use this. Or in case of staircase also, these are being provided. Next type of window is pivoted window. Pivot means somewhere a joint through which it can be rotated. Okay, just see these are two different types of pivotation. This one is horizontal pivot because why? Along the this this member. Okay, this member through this panel you can say is rotating and along the horizontal axis. Okay, is pivoted means what? It fixed here at the horizontal point and then it would move on horizontal wise. Hence it is called a horizontal pivoted window. This is vertical pivotation. It goes vertically. In this direction it may move. Hence it is called as what? Vertical pivotation. Next type of a window is sliding window. Even you may have this at your home or college. So sliding window or the slider. Okay, it has two or more sashes. Two or more sashes means two or more panels holding the glass fixed within the horizontal frame. This is suitable for openings. For suitable openings, grooves are left in the frame. Okay, grooves means holes are left in the frame so that we can open in and shut it down the windows. Again, if the fine channels are provided at the base in which the window frame or leaves move along. Next type of window are known as the casement type of windows. When fully opened, offer maximum amount of ventilation. These windows are the windows which are hinged, means what? Fixed. They are fixed at the edges here. See, in olden days, these were very common types of windows. It seems like a box, hence a box that is a case. Hence they are named as what? Casement window. It has similar components to your paneled door. If you can see, these are the rails, this is the style, these are the glass panels. Next type of window is your glaze window. Glaze, again the word comes, glaze means what? It is seems to be glass. So a window made up of glass is called as a glaze window. Then similar to your lowered door which I've explained, a type of window in which lowers means what? Inclined glass or wooden members are being fixed to allow the entry of air or light inside the room is called as what? The lower type of window. Then comes as very aesthetically very good and most important you can say aesthetic wise is called as a bay window. Now here the word comes bay. What is bay exactly? If you can observe here in the figure, this is the wall of the house. Okay, generally wall is provided inside the wall, na? But this type of wall, this type of window is coming outside your wall. Okay, so what would be the benefit? As it is coming outside of your wall, I got extra space inside my room, and this extra space created due to the extension of my window outside my wall is called as a bay. Okay, and type of window which is provided in a bay is called as a bay window. Here if you can see, it has its own roof, it is coming outside wall. Now what is the benefit of this? I get an extended area in my room, also I get an extended view from my window. Okay, generally it is used in the cold countries where snow is often falls. Okay, so uh, aesthetical wise purpose wise, in case of to protect, allow the snow to fall down easily and get the extended view, this bay windows are very beneficiary. Next is the corner window. Corner, if I go with the diagram, if you can see, this is one wall, this is the other wall. A type of window, okay, which is provided at the corner of a wall. Corner of one, at the intersection. This is my one wall, this is my the second wall. So a type of window which is provided at the corner or the intersection of two walls. Such type of a wall is window is called as a corner window. What is the benefit? I get the light and air from two directions, from this also and from this also. Okay, so this is the most important benefit of my corner window. So what is corner window? A type of window which is provided at the intersection of two walls, at the corner of the wall, is called as the corner window. Our next type of window is the dormer window and the gable window. The windows provided at the dormer end and the gable end of the sloping roof to provide light and ventilation to the enclosed space below the roof. Now, here again a word comes dormer. Dormer is this, if you can see this one. Okay, dormer is the extended portion or extended height or chimney like portion coming on the roof of your house. Okay, and the window provided on this dormer is called as the dormer window. So what is the benefit? Extended, we may get the extended, you can say, light and ventilation from extended portion of your house. Okay, so even in the roofing area we may get the light due to the presence of the dormer window. So this is all for today's discussion. In the coming lectures, we'll be discussing the leftover portion of the staircase and lintels. Thank you. Keep studying.